I was wondering what league executives and coaches must be thinking about the Arizona Cardinals head coaching job. And it turns out somebody actually ran a poll on it and did the job for me. So that worked out. And the results were not shocking in the least. It explained a lot as well. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law, and I got you when it comes to Cardinals news, talk, rumors, reports, and more. Thank you to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. Scan that QR code and use code word footballfan, all one word, and get in on these playoff games, man. I'm already on there. I've been having a blast so far. Join me over on Underdog Fantasy. If you're already part of the squad, I appreciate you for riding with us day one. And if you're new here, smash the sub button. It really helps out the channel. And the more we grow, the better content we can bring you guys every single day. Huge shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Bird Gang. We are one of 5 teams, 4 teams, whatever it is, still searching for a head coach right now. And we were one of 10 teams that needed a new one in the first place. And while the rest of the league is already locking in their next era head coach, we're still sitting here refreshing our phones like we're waiting for concert tickets to drop, because 5 of those teams actually already made their hires. The Giants got John Harbaugh. The Dolphins got Jeff Hafley. The Titans went with Robert Saleh, took him right from under our noses. The Baltimore Ravens just hired Jesse Minter yesterday. And of course, the Falcons took Kevin Stefanski a few days ago. Meanwhile, we're still looking. And it's a search that looks like it's getting longer and possibly worse. The league is flat out telling us they think our job sucks. They think this job sucks. It is wild. We had 2 finalists, okay? Jeff Hafley, Robert Saleh. That was the report. We were ready to bring them both back for second interviews. They got jobs before they even made it back into the building, right? Hafley went to Miami. Saleh went to Tennessee. They beat us. We got beat to the punch, and we got beat to the punch hard. And John Harbaugh didn't even consider us, right? And I know everyone said about that initial phone call and all that, but we didn't even make it past that. And Sean McDermott, who is actually getting mentioned in serious circles, apparently has zero interest in our situation. Can you blame him? I don't, right? So we're not just losing candidates. We're not even getting the candidates to take us seriously, and that is embarrassing. It's got to be an embarrassing thing for this front office for sure. And then comes a part that really brings concern, right? The Athletic pulled 10 coaches and high-ranking executives around the league about the head coaching vacancies. We came in a whopping dead last. Dead last. Not near the bottom, not middle of the pack, not depends on the roster. Last, okay? 6 of 10 voters give us the last place vote. 3 more had us at 9th. And 1 incredibly optimistic person had us at 8th. So even the best review, we got was like, well, it could be worse. And that's humiliating. So the league is saying, yeah, no thanks. We don't want that job. And Cardinals fans, we can act shocked if we want to, but if we're being real, we know exactly why. And it starts at the tippity top. I know some people believe that you can't put this all on this dude. But when you are the boss, the buck absolutely always will stop with you. Michael Bidwell's been under heavy criticism for years now, but none heavier than this offseason. And we've been getting crushed on those NFLPA report cards year after year after year. Facilities, treatment, the whole thing. Guys having to pay for their own meals in the lunchroom and all that. And I understand that. A lot of us are going to be sitting here going, what the hell? They're millionaires. They can afford to pay their own lunch every single day. We have to. 100% totally understandable. But when the rest of the league doesn't do that, you got to keep up with that. Baltimore Ravens do gourmet every friggin' day. That stuff, as dumb as it is to me and you, it matters. Absolutely matters. And I believe you know that, right? Coaches, players, agents, everybody wants stability. And we don't have any right now. In fact, we're wobbly as hell. We're on a cruise ship in a storm right now, just doing this all day, right? Nobody wants to walk into a place where they feel like they're fighting uphill from the get-go, just to be treated like, we just want to be treated like a normal team. Plain and simple. And when you add that, like the head coach job pitch thing, it becomes an instant red flag. The best candidates aren't desperate. John Harbaugh wasn't desperate. Took his time. Took the best. He had the pick of his job, whatever. Sean McDermott's not going to be desperate. A lot of these guys are not desperate. They have choices. So, if we want to win a coaching search, we can't keep acting like the Cardinals brand sells itself, because it doesn't. It's honestly, the stock has never been lower on this Cardinals brand. And what makes it worse is we actually had a little momentum going before. Monty and Jonathan Gannon started with a deliberate approach in their first 2 seasons. It wasn't perfect, but there was, what did they say? Concepts of a plan, right? If you know what I'm talking about, you're laughing your ass off right now. Don't play. There was a structure, right? Then this season happened. Everything crashed. Johnny got fired. And so now we're back to square one with a franchise that loves the dumb. We're almost worse than the Philly 76ers that trust the process. We don't even say it. It's just one of those things where it's like got to be known. That, and then we hit the reset button, the emergency reset button this offseason. Look, I understand that Johnny deserved to get fired. Like, he was just not doing well at all. We were all frustrated and everything. But when you let go of somebody, you should probably have a plan of how you're going to replace them, or at least have a process of how you're going to do it. Instead of just blanket going, all right, who's available? Call you, right? It should have been like, here's these 3-4 guys, and let's go heavy on them. And I understand hires don't really work that way when you're a crappy team like we are, but you got to put foot on the gas on this thing, right? And we got to talk about the other reason, of course. One of the other reasons. Quarterback situation. It's rough. Kyler Murray's owed $36.8 million guaranteed next season, and we can absorb it if we want to move on. Sure. But the league isn't exactly overflowing with quarterback solutions right now. We wouldn't be able to find one to come back in here and make this thing work. So it might be like that we're stuck in his write it out zone with Kyler anyway. If we're being honest, and look, not even that. It's just the talk everywhere and the way the teams behave. You guys go on the websites. When you went to the games this last season, at least the second half of the season, there wasn't much rah-rah Kyler stuff anywhere. This team feels like they're already deciding. They're halfway. Like, what is it? 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door, I guess, with Kyler, right? While we're still kind of in the middle of this, are we gonna keep him? We're not gonna keep him. Should we keep him? Should we not? And it's a problem when head coaches or coach candidates look at us. Doing that wobbly stuff is not going to help us whatsoever. Even if a coach comes in and says, I can fix Kyler, I believe in Kyler, we can make this happen. The fact that Kyler's foot injury apparently never improved this year is a legitimate concern. You can't have a guy like him that's not a pocket passer, that's not a prototype quarterback, that relies on his legs, on his feet and everything. Can't play, can't even run. The new coach doesn't just have to win games. They're betting their entire career on QB1, whoever it is. That's not a comfortable bet, is it? So let's move on from Kyler then. Cool. Then what? Jacoby Brissett for a couple seasons? Okay, fine. We can do that. And I'm not here to trash the guy. Personally, he's a great dude. Pro's pro. But the numbers are the numbers, right? Brissett won 1-11 last season. His career record is 20-45. Better in presence, absolutely. Good enough to hold it down here and there, sure. Not good enough to win you much. We have the proof. We saw last season. I'm not lying. So now you're asking a new head coach to walk into the building and say, yeah, I'm going to win with that. Or we go to the free agent market and it's not promising. Or we draft a quarterback, and even though we have the 3rd overall pick, this draft seems to be a 1 QB draft at the very top with Fernando Mendoza. So there's no options there. The quarterback's going to come after that. We're talking like 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. They have upside at best, but they're not guys that you can be like definitely a franchise guy. So we haven't won a playoff game in 10 years. That's the evidence you need, right? We had 1 winning season in the last decade. That's a culture of losing, right? We don't hate losing enough to do much about it, quite obviously. The players do. Does the organization? They're still making money hand over fist, right? Coaches notice that, especially coaches with options. And then there's the biggest, quiet issue behind the scenes. We're not paying top dollar. Jonathan Gannon ranked in the bottom and near the very bottom in salary when he was with us. Now, that is an eye-opening stat for all of you. And we're still paying him. And we're still paying Cliff Kingsbury a little bit. So, if ownership is worried about salary, we already know how this ends. We're not hiring the most expensive guy. We're not hiring the it guy. We're either hiring a first-time head coach or someone looking for a second chance, like a Vance Joseph, which, Jesus, I don't want that. Or someone that'll take the job just because they don't have better offers. Which, again, that's not how you build a winner. That's actually how I ended up searching for another coach in 3 years, which is more than likely was going to happen. So, yeah, you can see why we're not the most sought-after job. We got an unstable reputation. We got ownership issues, quarterback uncertainty, a roster full of holes all over the place. And we got pressure to turn it around fast without the resources that other organizations throw at winning, like the Eagles. That's a nightmare. And the league absolutely sees it. The Athletic, their poll exposed the problem. It just gave us it's basically just open up our eyes, put the mirror to our face saying, this is why you suck. Are we going to keep being the franchise that complains nobody wants us? Or are we finally going to become the franchise that makes ourselves worth wanting? Because until we do that, we can interview 15, 25, 50, 100 candidates. It won't matter. We're not going to find the guy. After a rough season, look, this season gave us plenty of reasons to be frustrated. But today, we actually got something positive to talk about. Because despite everything that went wrong in 2025, our rookie class showed some real promise, especially our top two picks, defensive lineman Walter Nolan III and my favorite cornerback, Will Johnson. Now, was it the season that we dreamed from those two? No, not even close. No way. Injuries hit both of them really hard. Nolan played just 6 games. Will Johnson played only 12. So right away, we're talking about a rookie class and never even got a chance to get off the floor and hit the ground running. But even with that, Will Johnson gave us a reason to believe we got something special in him because he earned real recognition. The Pro Football Writers of America, the PFWA, which is made up of NFL media members covering all 32 teams, announced their all-rookie team. And guess who made it? Our boy, number 0, Will Johnson. He was named the top rookie cornerback on the all-rookie team alongside Tampa Bay's Jacob Parrish, who's pretty damn good. And that matters because when a player gets recognized like that, it's to see it. It's not hype. We saw the evidence. They named him all-rookie. Awesome. It's people who cover this league for a living saying, yeah, that guy could definitely play. So that was pretty cool. His numbers backed it up. In 12 games, he started 10 of those, finished with 37 total tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, 10 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble. And still waiting for the interception that I thought was going to come in the first half of the season. But we all know he should have got one, right? And he actually had one. If I remember correctly, he picked one off and it got wiped because of a penalty. Thank you, whoever that was. So the instincts are there. The production's there. The ball skills are there. The presence is absolutely there. And it's not even a fully healthy season. That was that was a rookie year when he missed time and still made enough noise to get honored. That's the kind of player we've been begging for in our DB room. Because if we're going to turn this franchise around, cornerstone players are a must, right? And Will Johnson's one of them. Walter Nolan III is one of them. A healthy Will Johnson gives us exactly that anyway. So a legit corner changes the way teams have to play against us. He gives us a flexibility on coverage. He takes pressure off the safeties. They don't have to cover as much. And he allows the pass rush to more time to get home. It gives us a player we can actually build around instead of constantly patching holes in the secondary every offseason. We haven't had enough of these cornerstones whatsoever. So when we draft one and he flashes early and gets league-wide respect, let's do it. Huge deal. 2025 wasn't what we wanted. Injuries destroyed us. The season got away from us quick and early. But if we're looking for a reason to feel better about what's coming next, Will Johnson's one. Being named to the all-rookie team is a big deal, and it's a sign that even in a disappointing season, we still landed a potential star. Now, for him, next steps are simple. Keep healthy. We'll get him healthy. Keep him healthy. Let him grow. And that's not going to be the last award that Will Johnson gets in this league. Not even close. He's going to be one of the best corners in the league. My estimation, my prediction, he'll be an all-pro by year 3, maybe year 4. I think that's how good I think he is, especially when he's healthy. All right. That's something to get excited about for sure. Something else to get excited about, folks. Football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the gridiron action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick if your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. Get them right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. The NFC West is guaranteed a spot in the big game in San Fran, and that's the game I'm absolutely watching this weekend, Rams at Seahawks. And the spotlight for me is on Matty Stafford to go higher than his 0.5 interceptions thrown, and Sam Darnold to go lower than his 229.5 pass yards with that injured oblique muscle. That Seattle defense is not nice, folks, and they're not going to allow the same mistakes that Stafford made against the Bears on last week without paying for them dearly. So he's definitely going to throw a pick, all right? Jot it down, lock it in. He's going to throw a pick for sure. What are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use promo code FootballFan, all one word, to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code FootballFan. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8 or text from 467-369.
All right, Bird Gang. The 2026 NFL Draft is coming up, and it's going to be here before you know it. And we should seriously I think we should seriously consider trading down a little bit, right? Get some some draft capital back, right? Trade back in, maybe get another second round or something like that if you want to move it that way. And because there's talent to be had, absolutely. Now, you know me, I am all about Francis Maligo at number 3. Or maybe trade down a little bit, get Spencer Fan on one of the tackles, right? Shore up the offensive line. But I'm not the GM. So if Monty decides he wants to trade down and bring up some draft capital, if someone gives us a deal we cannot refuse for number 3 overall, there's other names to consider. So this is part of my draft series. Again, going over each different prospect I think we should at least look at. And regardless of round, one stuck out to me. If we trade down a little bit, just a few spots, nothing too crazy. It's an Ohio State linebacker. It's not Ivor Reese, right? I'm looking at Mr. Sonny Styles. He has the toughness, right? He brings that ability to stay strong when the defense seems to start folding. He could be the kind of guy that glues it back together. He's the type of player who changes the attitude of a unit the second he walks into the building. We need linebacker help for sure. Everyone does. We definitely do. We need edge help. We need depth, more pieces in the secondary, and an O-line that can actually hold up week to week for whoever's playing quarterback for us next season. But when you're a team with holes all over the roster, you can't afford to act like you're one player away, because we're not. So instead of sitting there and forcing a pick at the top, if someone comes up and says, we want number 3 for whoever, we're going to give you all this stuff. You got to consider it, especially when you're trading down still in the same round, still in the top 10, top 15 picks, right? Trading down isn't being scared. It's smart if it's the right deal. It's saying we need multiple starters, not just the one headline. And the best part is Sonny Styles, in my opinion, is the kind of player we can land if we slide back just a little bit. Now, Sonny Styles is built like an NFL defender. This jacked. He's not just a linebacker. He's one of those hybrid, like modern defenders that offenses hate playing against, because he can do a little bit of everything. He could run, he could hit, he could cover, he could blitz. And more importantly for us, he plays with the kind of aggression our defense has been missing. For too long, we have played defense like we're trying not to mess up. And the best defenses in this league, they don't play scared. Remember that 2010 Pittsburgh Steelers defense? They played violent. They played fast. They played downhill. They were trying to hurt you. Sonny Styles gives us that kind of energy. He's the kind of guy that makes a quarterback speed up his clock, makes a running back feel contact early, and changes the vibe of his entire defense. Cardinals fans, I don't care what anyone says. Where you come from matters. Ohio State defenders come into the league prepared. They played in big games, under pressure, in front of massive crowds, against elite athletes as well. It's not going to be a culture shock for them when they come into the NFL, right? It's not. They don't have like a welcome to the NFL moment. These guys are just used to it. And Sonny Styles has developed into one of the biggest football programs, one of the biggest football programs. I can't talk today. He developed in one of the biggest football programs in America. He can handle the pressure. We got enough players who disappear when things get tough. We need a guy who runs into the fire saying, follow me, we're doing this. Some fans want to hear, they hear linebacker and they think, why are we drafting that early? Because we're tired of watching the middle of the field get eaten alive. That's why. Right? Every season we give up, the early crosses, the tight end wide, the tight ends are wide open. They destroy us on tight ends kick our ass every year. Running backs leak out like crazy. Quarterbacks scramble for first downs. Even the quarterbacks that have no business running scramble against us. That's damn embarrassing. 7-yard runs should have been 2-yard runs. Clean. A linebacker like Sonny Styles helps fix all of that, in my opinion. He gives us the range, the athleticism, right? Someone who can actually close space and finish plays. Because right now, we've had a defense that lets teams get comfortable. Styles will make you uncomfortable. And if you could spread that kind of mentality through this defense, we're going to be scary. So we trade down a bit, still stay in this first round, grab Sonny Styles, and we also pick up extra draft capital, maybe a second rounder, maybe a third, future picks. Now we're talking. Now we're filling multiple holes through the draft. Now we're building a real roster that a coach might actually want to come here coach. Cardinals fans, we can't keep living in the cycle. We draft one guy, hype him up, and then realize the rest of the roster is still thin. We need a lot. We need waves of talent, folks. We need volume and depth. So if we could trade out a little bit and just still get a defensive difference maker like Styles, I'm all for it. Right? Trade down, game picks. Why not? Draft Sonny Styles because he fits what we need on the defense. Physicality, speed, versatility, and a defensive attitude we've been missing. A punch him in the mouth and I want some more kind of mentality. If we want to stop being soft and weak and embarrassing, if we want to stop being bullied and pushed around in our own freaking stadium, we got to get guys like Sonny Styles, just mean guys. And Francis Malgoa, just mean people. Trade down, draft Styles, build the defense the right way. That's what we're trying to do on this squad. All right, folks. It is Friday. It is Comment Friday. So let's go ahead and get through the comments here. All right, try and make this as fast as I can. There will be a couple, I'm sure, that take a few more minutes on me. Go ahead and put them up on my screen so I'm not reading like this the whole time and you're staring at my nose hairs and stuff. All right, first one. Oh, my boy Mike. Thanks for giving us enjoyable Cardinals contact. I'm new to your channel, and I'm enjoying what I see so far. Hey, I appreciate you for coming in, man. Welcome to the Bird Gang. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Great video. Trenches should be the only option in this draft. I fully agree. Magoa, Bain, Bailey. I could be talking to Reese. Me too. Should be the only people we look at for number 3. If we stay there, I agree with you 100%. You need guys that are going to be that are considered, like difference makers from day one. All right. Oh, my guy Mizak. I just call it Felix, dude. Mizaki Felix. I'm gonna call you Felix if you don't mind. This interview reeks of desperation. He's talking about the Anthony Kempenow, I think his last name is, the Jaguars DC. This interview reeks of desperation, not well thought out planning. LOL. Dude has exactly 1 year as the DC with success, and they're gonna make him head coach. Terrible. It's not the greatest, but it seems like. I mean, you tell me what you think, and we got another comment from you later, and you tell me what you think. Who you think we should go get? Because it's slim pickings at this point, right? We're almost better off having kept Jonathan Gannon. Almost. And I know that video came out, I think yesterday, the day before, of the Jaguars DC, like talking like trying to like rally the troops in that room. I mean, they were number 1 run defense in the league last year from after giving up runs left and right the season before. He's got something. I would love to get him just as a DC and get a better head coach, but you never know. And again, it's one of those things where it seems like we're not getting up with a first time head coach as well. All right, let me see if I can get you the next one here. 1 second, folks. I apologize for being so slow on this. Let's see, what is this one? No, it's not the one I'm looking for. All right, I'm gonna have to do this to y'all. Sorry. I used to work for Hugh. Oh, I could probably pull this up. I used to work for Hugh Culverhouse, who owned the Buccaneers, and he was cheap. I knew we would never win a Super Bowl as long as he owned the team. I left in the late 80s, and sure enough, he sold the team to the Glazers, and Bucks now have 2 Super Bowl victories. And you know what they did? Went after Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. They pay what it takes. They pay what it takes, guys. I hate to break it to everybody. All right. Let's go with 1 second, my guys. Let me see if this is the one I'm looking for. All right, here we go. Quick little Joe Brady report card. The good. This is from Madden Mobile King. The good. Coach in a lot of offenses with elite offensive players in the game. That's it. The bad. His great strength is the same as the Cardinals. Interviews. Yeah. How many times has this guy been in the mix for opening and interviewed for openings in past and not landed one anywhere? Am I supposed to believe this owner and front office is going to be the ones to uncover the rock of gold? Never even want to utilize his wideouts at a professional level. I'm disagree with you there. The Bills and receivers are crap. How many receivers have went through the Bills building with none of them sticking? Furthermore, based on Pagula's press conference, leads me to believe he was one of the ones pushing Bean to take Coleman, not McConkey. Hate to be pessimistic in a time where it's easy to, but don't think this is our guy. If he is hired, won't be here long term. I mean, I don't disagree with you, right? And honestly, I think Josh Allen wants to keep that guy. He might actually be their next head coach. Who knows, right? But yeah, I looked into Joe Brady a little bit more, just like you did, and it does seem like he does get interviewed a lot. I'm really wondering what scares teams away from him. Normally, it'd be availability of a better coach somewhere else. We don't have that problem because the better coaches don't want to come here. So we might end up with him. Who knows? I don't have a favorite right now. What I don't want is Vance Joseph or Matt Nagy or Arthur Smith. And I've actually talked to some people that actually want those guys, and I'm like, well, why? They said, well, they got head coaching experience, and I'm like, not good ones. Matt Nagy embarrassed the hell out of Chicago, right? Who was you talking about right now? Freaking whatever. Either way, Vance Joseph was terrible. I think who was the head coach for Denver? Whoever he was, it clearly didn't work out. So either way, all right. And I got to go back to this one right here. It's one of my favorites. And I'll tell you why. Because I like debate. I am a very big fan of debate and argument, and when good points are brought, right? I don't even mind a little bit of emotion coming into it. So, Felix, I apologize. I'm not trying to embarrass you, but I actually like this comment a lot from you. All right. Felix says, yes, Monty has free reign to hire his head coach. As for the Bidwells, I've had more experience with the family than you have, 100%. I have dealt with his grandfather, father, and now him. Damn, dude, you were around a long time. I think I'm more qualified to know the family in comparison to you in this point. Agreed. Mike is a lot of things, but he said he was giving Monty full control of the football side of things. He has kept his word on that matter since Monty has gotten here. All right. Hiring a GM in that realm is in that realm. So, yes, Monty has full control of the situation. The real issue here is the NFL is telling the Cardinals and their fans that the roster is not as good as we think it is. The GM is a mean around the league, and our facilities are garbage. No, and I don't disagree with any of that. The only part that Mike controls is the facilities. The rest is all Monty. What can we expect when the league sees our GM F around with our franchise quarterback for a career backup? Good point. Good point. And then tells us with a straight face that the backup provides a better chance to win. Then that backup loses 11 of his 12 starts, makes the offense worse, and the GM still wants to mess around with our franchise quarterback. Add to that, the entire league watched both Monty and Mike screw over again in this year. I don't mind cussing, but you never know with YouTube. Monty forced him to start at lesser quarterback and then let him get fired because of his choice, while Mike and Monty both told Gannon he would save as late as Sunday night. Damn. And then blindsided him with this pink slip. No real head coach candidate wants any part of that BS on top of the overrated roster, all of which is on our GM Monty. All right. Really, really appreciate your comment. I really do. On that end, I agree with you, right? I totally get what you're saying. And if you do know the bid was that well, I will definitely, give into your input on that, because obviously I don't know them, right? I can only give you my opinion and my point of view from where I'm sitting, which is from the outside. What I do understand is that the buck always stops with the guy on top, with the boss. If you put Monty in charge of everything and give him free reign, it's still on him, in my opinion. You could disagree with that, totally understandable, totally get it, right? If we go with what you're saying 100%, then Monty's screwing this thing up badly. And it makes me wonder why he hired him in the first place. I would love, I don't know if you could still talk to him, but if you could ask him why he went with Monty and not somebody else at GM, I would love to actually know that answer. Some of his picks have been interesting. I love the Walter Nolan, the third pick, the Will Johnson pick. I am still a fan of Marvin Harrison Jr. I know a lot of people very early call him a bust, and I believe he needs more development. And we're a team that is garbage at developing players. So if we could bring someone in that could develop this guy, I think he'd be awesome. But you're right, Monty hasn't shown much. He really hasn't. And so, I think he's gonna, his ass is gonna be on the hot seat. I think this season, if it goes just as bad, or even if it's just a little better, but if it's just as bad as last season, Monty's butt is gonna be on that hot seat hard. So, bam, man. And I saw your other comment saying you came on a little too hard. No. Don't apologize at all. You're good, dude. I like debate. I like argument. I like going back and forth. And you brought it. You brought like something to back it up with. So I appreciate it. All right, guys. Whew, it has been a week where we're trying to find our next, head coach, the future of this team, or the vision of this team that's coming up. And I'm kind of running out of steam here, trying to figure out what we're gonna do. So I hope you guys stay strong here with me and everything. So make sure you keep it locked to Cardinals Daily. That's going to do it for this episode of Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. Don't forget to hit the sub, hit the bell, hit the like, leave a comment. I will see you guys all on Monday. We might even have a head coach by then. Make sure you follow. If you guys see it on the videos, the Eddie Law Show is myself. If you guys want to follow, subscribe to that channel as well. That's where I'm going to put breaking news videos and everything. The second we get a head coach, I'm going to be on there. Hopefully live. If YouTube lets me go live on that yet. But on there, on these socials right here, I will be putting up videos immediately as soon as we get news, and we'll see what happens, guys. I'm predicting a very quiet weekend for us, unless we go with Anthony right away. But who knows? Because we did talk to him last night, and if we get news on that today, that'd be cool. But make sure you follow me at the Eddie Law Show on YouTube, or subscribe or whatever to get those kind of stuff and everything. All right, folks, and the socials. All right, Bird Gang. Thank you to shout out to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. Please scan the QR code, folks. Helps out the channel immensely. Use football fan on one word as your code. Really helps us out. Bird Gang, I rock with y'all till the wheels fall off, baby. Go Cards. Have a great weekend.